Yeah.
Okay. Uh, this one isn't something that we necessarily. Well, we kind of did because we need to know the rules. Is on the one punt. I don't know if you remember this, but
No, I
uh,
know exactly what you're talking
okay,
about.
yeah, we had a Tressway punt and stuck him at like the 4 or 5 yard line.
Yeah, inside the 5 yard line. Yep.
Yeah, and shoot, now I forgot who it was.
I
Uh,
can't remember who it was either, but I know
hold
exactly
on.
the play you're talking about. He stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, hold on. It was Danny Johnson. Danny Johnson. Danny Johnson comes. He gets pushed out of bounds like they normally do, and he came up and touched the ball first. This rule needs to be changed on punts. This
Can't do it.
rule, hold on, no, this rule was put in
Okay.
place for receivers so they can't run their routes out of bounds and then throw them the ball and them to be the first one touched, right? Just because you get pushed out of bounds as a gunner and you're downing the ball, I don't think this needs to be penalized like an illegal play, like some cheat play that we're trying to police, like an out of bounds for the receiver play. Like,
Okay, but
I think
okay.
this needs to be
Please
changed.
finish. Okay, well I can tell you why it can't.
Okay, go ahead.
Because it is equally um, important that if you allow a player to come from out of bounds and be the first one to touch the ball, then what's to stop your gunner from lining up on the sideline? As soon as the ball is snapped, he takes off, runs behind the team, comes down around the inside, comes in, and is the first one to touch the ball, and the receiving team doesn't know where he is.
An easy fix to that. Make it illegal to come on the field after the ball's hyped. Like you have to start on
No,
the
no, no,
field.
no, no. You're on the field. You are standing 1 yard in on the sideline as a gunner. You got two guys on you because you're the gunner and you're standing right by the sideline. You're on the field, but as soon as the ball is snapped, you make a right hand turn and start running down
Actually,
the.
no. Hold on. No, they already have a rule for this. You can't just voluntarily run out of bounds. It's only if you get pushed out of bounds, and as soon as you get pushed out of the bounds, you have to run immediately back in inbounds. You cannot, even if you got pushed out of bounds, you can't just start running up the field. You have to immediately get back inbounds. They already have this rule in the books. So even if you
Well,
can't
but that's what he
voluntarily
did.
run. What?
So you're saying if he got pushed out of bounds and then came right back in, he'd be allowed to touch the ball?
No, it's an allowed play. But if he got pushed out of bounds and just ran the rest of the way out of bounds, that's a flag whether he touches the ball or not. You can't just stay out of bounds the rest of the play and then come back on the field. Like you
Okay,
have to
so how
get back
long?
in.
So how like if you run 3 yards to get back in, that's okay.
It's a judgment call. They have to make. Did
Exactly,
no
and that's the problem.
no? Did you make an honest effort to get back on the field? Okay, 3 yards. Okay, you're fine. 3 steps. Okay, you're fine. If you ran 20 steps, we know that you did something wrong. Okay, like that's not right. So it's not going to be an exact like if you get 5 steps out of bounds, then you're not included. It's like it'll be a judgment call by the refs. Did the ref honestly feel as though he gave an honest effort to get back on the field within a reasonable amount of time? Because also, what happens if you got pushed freaking 5 yards out of bounds or something? You know, like they got a good push on you, and you have to take 7, 8, 9 steps to get back in to out of bounds because you got tripped up as you were pulling away. You're also most likely
Yeah.
not going to be the first one to touch the ball in that scenario. But anyway, I think
Well,
there's
but
better
maybe
ways to handle this.
maybe they
Instead
do
of
it similar to the NBA, where you have to establish yourself back in bounds before you can touch the ball.
uh, that's fine. Yeah, you have to establish yourself back. But at the same time, I like the rule now. Is like you can't, as far as you can't run out of bounds just the whole way out of bounds. But I think I like the rule for the receiver, as I've already stated. If you run out of bounds, you cannot be the first one to touch the ball, like outside the quarterback. Like you can't be throwing the ball to. I like that rule for that receiver situation. But as a gunner, I think, and just that's coming down just to down the ball, because he didn't even have to touch it. He could have just
Well,
stood next to it. And
exactly. Which brings me to my point I was going to make is you need to teach your players the rules so that
100%.
he doesn't touch the ball.
100%.
Because if he'd have just not touched the ball, to your point, it was going to be on the 4 yard line. and there's no penalty. But for some reason, nobody tells these players the rule that says if you get knocked out of bounds, you can't be the first one to touch the ball. Don't do it. And so
I'm yes, you're absolutely right on this one, no doubt. It's in the rules now.
Mark that, by the way.
Yeah. Somebody timestamp this and put it on the date. Yeah. No, you're absolutely correct as far as it's in the books now, and we need to know the rules. So I'm 100% with that. But I think this rule needs to be changed because it's not meant to stop anything here. And I think we could do better on this rule specifically.
Yeah, they could modify it. I think they could come up with a solution. I get what you're saying. I just felt like arguing with you for 10 minutes over it.
Yeah, it sounds. What's up, guys? Thanks for watching to the end of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. The like button is on this side for mobile. If you have any of your own thoughts or questions, comment down below. We may just answer it next video. Thanks. See ya.